So I'm going to be testing out lots of things today. I've got my new microphone, which is my wireless mic, so hopefully that will work with the new muffler on. I'm out in a field, there's nobody about, and I'm going to test a new drone. Now the reason I'm looking like this when I turn my head, by the way, is when I tested out my drone in my house, it attacked me and then proceeded to hit the TV. And what happened is I jolted my head back to stop the drone hitting me in the teeth, which is where it was aiming for. Unfortunately, I didn't film the event, which would have been great, but never mind. So I'm trying out my new drone. I'm out in a field. We've got about 8 miles an hour of wind, apparently, possibly a bit more than that up here on these hills. And then the other thing I'm going to do is go back to the area where I went camping with my tarp, where I had a bit of a nightmare of an evening. I was very, very scared. Well, not scared, I was just very, very wary, very nervous, didn't like the situation at all. I did stay the night, but you'll see my video on that anyway if you haven't already. But I think I may have lost my Bluetooth earbuds that night, possibly still in their case, because I think they got wet in the rain and I pulled them out to dry and everything else, and then I got up in a hurry and went, and I have a feeling that that's where they are. So I'm going to go back there, set up a tarp. I'm going to cook a little meal, but I'm not going to stay the night. So it's now 1:30 in the afternoon on Thursday. Sundown is kind of about 6 p.m, so I've got a couple of hours. It only takes about 10 minutes or 15 minutes to get there. So first of all, I'm going to test out this new drone that I bought. And the reason I bought it is it only cost me £79, 80 quid on Amazon. It's a Chinese make. I don't think it's got a GPS enabled with it, but I got it just as an extra defence mechanism that, you know, if things were kicking off in my area for any reason during an SHTF, something like that, then I would have a drone that I could send up and have a little look. But it's going to take a lot. It's not a case of like buy a drone, leave it in the box, chuck it under the kitchen cupboard or whatever in case of SHTF. You need to learn how to fly these things, and it's taken me a bit of time, and this is the first time I've had it outdoors, so I've only flown it around my living room, and it's not as easy as it looks, or not as easy as you'd think. So we're going to give it a go. I've got a spare battery with me. I'm going to try and use just my phone to control it, which seems to work, so we'll give that a go as well. Licensing wise, because this is under 250 grams, you don't require a flyer's license, but you do require an operator's license, which costs £11.16 per year. Cheeky government. So I've registered it all above board. I've got my registration. There's my little drone. I've got my registration code sellotaped to there. That's my operator's code. So you, as an owner of a drone under 250 grams with a camera, that's not a toy. You have to register it. And that's what I've done. I probably could have got away without it, but I'd rather just be all above board. And the government website is so confusing that it just led me to do the flyers test as well. So I just took the test online, got my flyers license, that's free. So I've got a flyers code as well. Now there are guards that go underneath here, but I took those off because it doesn't fit back in the box, in the case for transporting it when you've got the guards on. So I took those off, and I thought, well, I'm hopefully not going to need them around here unless I fly it into my face, which is not the plan at all. So I'm going to load the battery in, and then we're going to give it a go and a little flight test. So I'll pop it there. Stupid Chinese music. We turn it on and then we connect it to the Wi-Fi on the phone. Nobody about. I'm hoping the wind doesn't send it straight into those bushes over there. We are connected to the drone. Right, hopefully I can just do an automatic setup. Let's just set the camera up so we can see what's going on. Well, that didn't work. That didn't work, and I think that's because now there's people in that hedge over there. Possibly camping. I thought I heard voices. Right, I'm going to set it off from here. It was catching on the corn. Great success. Yeah, that's pretty easy to fly with just the phone. The drone has 3 speeds, 30%, 60% and 100%. I just had it on 100% there and is coping a little bit. It was struggling a little bit in the wind and it went a bit AWOL and I nearly lost the damn thing over in some bushes, but luckily managed to gain it some height because I knew the battery was fully recharged. Yeah, I gave it some extra height and then got it out of the woods, so to speak. So that was all right. So now I'm going to pack up because I know there's people around in a hedge. Probably me being paranoid again. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to go back to the woods, to the dodgy area, and see if I can't find my headphones, which would be brilliant if I could find those. Not that I've used them any time on a camping trip, but now I've joined the gym. Hopefully my neck will be all right by the time I go to the gym on Saturday. Anyone following my progress, by the way, will be pleased to know I went a second time yesterday and all very successful. So that's twice a week, full body workout twice a week is what I'm planning on doing. So should be all good. Okay, right, let's hike down to the woods and we can cook some lunch. Right, I'm hoping this microphone is still working, otherwise I've recorded all this without sound. Now let's head off to the field, to the woodland, where I'm going to hopefully retrieve my headphones. But either way, I'm going to set up a tarp and cook up a lunch. I've got a freeze-dried beef hot pot and beef and potato hot pot meal to cook up. I don't know why I'm bloody whispering. You know, people are entitled to be out and about, just not when I'm out and about. I've not seen one of those in a while. They used to be called deadly nightshades or something. That's the woodland right over there that I've got to go to, further than I thought. I'm going to take a slightly different path round to where I camped last time because I think it joins up, although it's quite a big woodland, so hopefully I won't get lost. I'm sure I'm not going to get lost. I've got my GPS, I've got my compass. I haven't got a map with me, but I know which direction's which. That's the main thing. I haven't seen anybody about, but I'm pretty sure there was some noise that wasn't natural in those bushes up the top there while I was flying the drone. But I'm just looking around me, checking if I'm being followed, as you do. That's what you do. Tell you what, it's a great film that I've watched several times now. I don't know if I've mentioned. No, it's cool. It's with Casey Affleck and a young girl. Can't remember her name. Casey Affleck, he wrote it, directed it, starred in the film. It's called Light of My Life, that's it. And from a prepping point of view, it's a really good film. I've seen it's not been mentioned on, well, I've not seen it mentioned on any other like prepping review sites. You get some preppers, they review movies like Civil War and things like that. This one's really good. There's an event that's happened. They're in a bit of a dystopia and he's trying to protect his daughter. And it's kind of all the challenges and that, but lots of bugging out stuff in there and looking over his shoulder and keeping an eye on things. And it's really good. From a prepping point of view, it's kind of, that's kind of how you would be on edge all the time in a true SHTF. So I'd recommend that. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's very good. Light of My Life. I was thinking the noise I heard in the hedge is probably a dog running through the bushes because there's tons of dog walkers around here, and I know that because all the shite that's everywhere. Because of course it's on the fields, they don't pick it up. Don't really need to. All goes into the crops. Know where your food comes from, eh? Just thinking that issue I had with the drone. Well, not really an issue. It was more me not keeping a proper closer eye on what's going on. But the drone drifted off with the wind. Couldn't quite handle it, and it drifted over a load of bushes. I'd have never found it. The thing is, it hasn't got GPS, so there's no home button that brings it back to you, brings it back to the user, the controller. So that's what you get for 79 quid rather than 350 quid for a DJI Mini 2. Maybe I'll step up to one of those at some point, but I just thought I'd practice with this. It's good enough, and hopefully the footage is good as well. Seems all right. It's a 4K camera apparently, and you can switch. There's another camera underneath it, so you can switch to directly below or have the front camera, which also angles 90 degrees, so it points below as well. But I don't know how to move it unless you have to do it manually. I'm not sure. I don't think you do, because it feels like a motor on it. So I'll have to figure that out. Right, I'm nearly in the woods now, and I'll try and find my spot. Well, an amazing specimen. Some more in there as well. That's incredible. This is the rough path that I had to go through. A bit more overgrown. And it's torn shreds out of my jacket. That's my spot, kind of in there around the corner. Can't hear anyone. When we've had some rainfall, every single drip is deafening, which is amazing. I need to spend more time in the woods, I know. Climb over all that crap to get in, and then we'll see if we can get in there. I'm not even at my spot yet, and I'm sweating profusely. Desperately needed a wee. It's still uncomfortable here. Not happy. So I think what I'll do is I'll see if I can find my headphones, and then I'll come back here where I'm potentially visible from the path. Because there's been a fire down there in that area, and the path's just there. But my spot is in there. So I'm going to go and check it out, see if I can find the headphones. There's no one around, but I can hear trees creaking and everything else. It's just getting used to the sounds. And then I'll set up a tarp and have some lunch. That's what I'll do. These are amazing, look at the colours. Can't remember if they're edible or not. If my headphones are here, I can't see them. They're in a black charging container. This is that's where the entrance to my tent, or my tarp was last time. I can't see them. Chances are they've fallen down the back of the sofa, or I've misplaced them like an idiot, like I'm doing all the time these days, misplacing things. I feel better about the place on the second visit, and it's during the day. It's now 20 past 2, so I've got 3 hours before sundown, so I can spend an hour here safely and then get the hell out. I'm going to set a ridge line up, clear an area. This little tree here, little hawthorn, but that should be sturdy enough. Between that one and this big one here, and then I'll have a tarp down here, entrance kind of around this area, facing the way in, sort of side on, and that way I can see anybody coming in that way. I don't think anyone comes in that way, or will do, because it's I think there's no path over there as far as I know. So I'm literally about 3 yards, or no, 4 or 5 yards from where I camped before, in that uncomfortable spot. Couldn't find my damn headphones. So let's get this ridgeline and tarp set up. Now this is something I haven't done before, like a daytime tarp. I've only ever practiced the nighttime one, the fully closed in one, and the one I did up on the cliffs with the trekking poles. I'm on alert, but I haven't got the same feeling as I did last time. So, and if anyone's around, it's daytime. I should have a right to be here, really. It's public access. You're obviously just not allowed to stay the night, which I'm not doing. So let's set this ridgeline up and then get the tarp up. Hopefully that mic's not too loud. I've just had to strip off. I'm absolutely sweltering, but then again I got another layer under this one, 4 layers on. It's still really warm. It's like 20 odd degrees, I think. One thing I'd love to do is be good enough to be able to control my drone up and over the woodland. I see people do that, but I just know I'd lose it. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to set the tarp up instead. I can always tighten at the other end. Tighten at the other end a bit. The top. A couple of pre-made prusik loops. And the prusik loops are just made of a slightly thinner material, because if you make them of the same material, same thickness, they don't grip as well. It has to be wound the right way. That's that one. It works a treat. So I'll do one there. Here's a stake. Right. So, because of the way I've done it, this tarp would absolutely not protect me from the rain whatsoever, because my ridge line's too high. So I need to lower the ridge line, which is a further complete chore. All I've done here is build a wall. Put my cheeky little ground sheet down. If that was to rain, I'd be alright. I'd have to move my tarp right in. Might have been able to pin out the sides. All new to this, so let's have a look, see how camouflage we are. Not very with my coat hanging up there. Let's have a look. See how we're doing. Yeah, apart from my coat sticking up, that's not too bad. Not too bad. I'd want it more closed in than that though. Especially if I was sleeping, I wouldn't sleep under that. No way. I'd want that closed in. So I can hear voices, but they're quite a way away. Let's get some food on. Those prusik loops work nicely now. I haven't had a lot of practice with them. I did when I was climbing, but I used a different type of rope. It was a lot easier to get the loops right. But on these, because they're knotted together, oh, my neck is hurting, man. I was supposed to be taking my boat out today for a little trip. I was going to do that with my daughter, but I woke up with a neck issue. She wasn't really feeling it, so I thought, well, I can't just lay on the sofa all day because that'd be a waste of a day. So I thought, well, if I'm going to lose money by not working, I may as well get out and about, try a few things out. So, yeah, the prusik loops, when you get them right, they work really, really well. That's the first time I've had time to practice that, so that's great. Should really practice at home, although I did practice at home a little bit on my washing line, and it worked really well. But out in the field, when you're a little bit stressed, a little bit wary, especially when you're coming back to a place where you didn't like it before, it's not as easy. So I'm going to cook up a hot pot, and then we're going to pack up, and then we're going to get going. Handy stand, hot pot, water that hasn't leaked at all, even though I've been throwing my bag around. Absolutely fantastic. I think what it is as well is when you're in the woods and you move, some branches or leaves nearer to you moving against the background looks like someone's in the background. I don't know how that makes sense, but that's what it looks like. And then, I'm looking over there and there's a really dark, or looks like a figure, human size, human height, but it's not. It's a big tree, and there's a branch with leaves on in front of it, cutting off. So it just looks like the below bit is like a shadowy figure. Of course, the mind likes to make shapes out of things that aren't there. So, yeah, it's mad. I need to spend more time in the woods. I really do. Don't know about this woods. It's not my favourite. I'd like to get camping in the woods rather than out in the open, because up on the cliffs, I think I was spotted. I didn't mention that in the last video. When I was packing up, when I was packing up, there was a woman in a blue anorak in a pissing rain with no dog appeared out of this bush nearby me when I was packing up. And I thought, what are you doing? And she looked at me, glanced at me, then hot-footed down the path and straight up towards the memorial. And I thought, she's onto me. I wonder if they, think I'm in for the duration or something. So I just packed up, got out of there, job done. Let's see if we can get the water volume right this time. 170 mil. I can hear people, but I'm not going to care. So yeah, I definitely did put too much in last time. Good thing about these little stoves, can't see that, can you? They don't require a match or a lighter because there's a little sparkler. There we go. Cooking in the woods for the first time in about, I don't know, nearly 40 years. So this is interesting. Oh, I was so thirsty. I did bring my billy set, but I don't know why. I don't need it. I think I was planning on bringing a tin, but I thought I'd try this beef and potato hot pot. Again, you can find these on everydayprepper.net. Try them out. You wouldn't normally use these on a camping trip. You'd get these and then you'd store them away. They store for, this one stores only till 2027, but normally they store for about 5 or more years, longer, much longer than an MRE, because the MREs are liquid. These are freeze dried, so they'll last a lot longer. But this has been on the shelf for a little while, so that's why I'm using it. With the brand new ones, they last for ages. See, every little movement, my eyes are just darting to. It's really interesting. It's interesting, but it's a nice bright day. I might try the drone out again on the way back because I've charged the batteries up. Well, that's the point. Don't want to blow them up. Right. Being a dog owner, always have poo bags, which can act as a crafty little bin. So everything goes in there, leave no trace and all that. I would love to cook up some mushrooms to chuck in this as well, but I am a little bit lax on my identifications. There's not many that will kill you in the UK. Most of them are amanitas. And they're really easy to identify. There's a mushroom in front of me right now. Let's have a little look at that. Yeah, not an amanita. God, that's boiling already. Not a very strong smell to that. I'm not overly keen on it. It's not an amanita, but if they smell, it's a general rule of thumb. The amanitas have big bulbs on the bottom. Pretty much all of the amanitas have. And the amanitas form part of, like the fly agaric, the spotted toadstool, the one that's hallucinogenic. So that, despite common belief, that won't kill you, but it won't do your liver any good, or your kidneys. I think it's the liver. It'll make you feel pretty ill if you eat a whole one, and obviously you'll be off your face for a few days. But generally they have a big bulb, like what they call an egg sac in the bottom. That one didn't, but usually if they haven't got an egg sac, so they're not an amanita, and they've got brown gills, don't go for anything with white gills, and they smell really mushroomy, nice mushroomy, not horrible, then they're usually okay to eat. But it's not an absolute given, because there are some that can be that are lookalikes. Right, let's try this. Okay, don't hold the packet by the bottom, Steve, because it's hot. Right, just give that a mix around, like that. God, that gets really hot. Well, it's because it's boiling water. That's why it's hot. Idiot. Right, seal it back up. What I'm saying is the heat comes through the packet quite easily, but when I tried the last one out, it retains the heat in the packet really well. So I'll pop that there. Get rid of that, because I'm going to hold it in there. Now, can I find my spork? Get in. So it comes apart. Oh, I see, it's got a locking mechanism there, right, that's how it works. So when you open it up, it comes apart. That's cool. Quick check over the back. Oh. Keep expecting someone to be standing there, imagine. They'd get sporked. Right, let's try this now. So that just folds into there, fits in there really nice. I think it's probably designed for that. Get it open, because I'm starving. Now I didn't seal that up properly, so it's probably not cooked properly, but it's expanded nicely. Give it a good stir. And again, just watching the fork on the bottom there, because I don't want to pierce the pouch at the bottom. Oh yeah, here we go. Do you know what? That would be better on a spoon. Have a large teaspoon. Use that. Now that, the vegetables, oh, pins and needles. Cross-legged. The vegetables are softer in this one. Might be because I used the right amount of water, don't know. That's lovely, beef's nice. Oh, good. I was more hungry than I thought. I'd love to chuck some mushrooms in there, but I better not. Because I'll either be off my head for days or not well. Or fine. I've got a guide at home, a couple of, actually 2 or 3 guides at home. I'll try and go over it. Yeah, I've got a couple of guides at home on foraging and mushrooms. I'd recommend that because, you know, have a book that you can take with you. There's these little guides that you can get. I think Wild Foods UK, which is a YouTube channel. There's a guy on there called Milo who's really knowledgeable. They've got a book. I've got their book. It's really good. Mushrooms and other plants and stuff. But, you know, if the internet went down or you didn't have your mobile with you or something like that, you wanted to go foraging, you take a book with you. It's cool. Well, there's loads in here. It's more than you think. All the birds have just stopped. Don't you just hate that? There's a dog. I suppose a 27-acre wood is perfect for dog walking if you've got that kind of dog. So, going forward, I think I would prefer a different configuration of tarp. This one's, to me, is just, I don't feel sheltered at all. In fact, I'd rather just sit on a log with no tarp. I like the fact that it's camo, but it's only camo to that side. It's silver to everything else. So I reckon an apex tarp, or like a ridge tarp over the ridge line and then sit in the entrance would have been better. Nice and high up. Maybe even with the pegged out bits raised above the ground. So pegged out using some short bungees or a bit of paracord or something like that. I think it would have been better for a bit of air and height. So I'll try that next time. Gutted about my headphones. I'll probably find them under a sofa somewhere or under a cupboard when I move house. Oh, this is very good, this stuff. It's better than 10-year-old ravioli. So a spoon was the best option. The good thing as well, the water penetrated. I didn't really stir it, but the water didn't have a problem getting all the way down the bottom. You know, sometimes when you have a pot noodle, and even though you stir it, when you get down the bottom, there's all this powder. Well, quite often is when I do it anyway. But that was moist all the way down. Oh, it's lovely. Right, straight in the old bin. Sort my spork out. Lock and load. That gas, I've had that for years, gas. Last ages. I did bring a tent pole for some other configurations, you know, like a plough point or to do some extra side stuff. I don't know if I can. Kind of want to get out of here really. It's 3:30, 2.5 hours before sundown. It's probably going to start getting pretty dark at 5. I haven't brought any instructions with me, so I'd be trial and error really. Yeah, let's try another one. Let's try a different combination. Just for the hell of it. I am limited with my 3-metre tarp, which has only got 8 points on it. I know these DD tarps have like 19 points on it, but I haven't got one of those yet. So I'm going to use the Prusik loops and for the middle, take that off. Right, so I can do that, and then I'll have my little tunnel. But what I could do is put my trekking pole on there with a little guy rope on. Now these things slipped on me last time, so I should have tightened them up before snapping them. They slipped down during the night, which is why I was so low when I woke up in the morning on the cliffs. But it's a bit more protected, so I could stake those down. And I'd have a 3-entrance tent or a tarp, which is much more closed in, you know. That's a start. Now I'll take the tent pole away, take the pole away, and then I'd have a ridge style tent like that with 2 entrances. So yeah, much more closed in, especially in the rain. That'd be better. So okay, I'm sure there's loads more, but I'm going to pack up now and head back out to the field. Right, all packed up. Leave no trace. I nearly forgot my ridge line, so I just took that down. Don't think I left anything. Couldn't find my headphones, but never mind, eh? So, Someone's left an old sweet wrapper. I'll take that back with me. Get rid of that. Apart from that, there's no other rubbish around really, so we're all good. Let's get the hell out of here. Right, I'm going to try something. You see me? That's better. I'll try something pretty daring now. I'm going to get my drone out. I'll just come out of the field, the woods, and I'll try flying the drone kind of over the woods, maybe near it, above it anyway, so I can get a good shot of the stuff. There's no one around, so test my skills. The only thing is I'm facing directly into the sun, so I'm not going to be able to see it very well unless I fly a bit. I'll fly a bit further down actually, see what the signal's like. Yeah, let's give it a go. There's a few dog walkers around and my camera battery's dying on me, but we're going to give this a go before the sun goes down anyway. Should have a fully charged drone battery, should be all good. I'll take off from my case because otherwise it just gets all mangled with the grass. So. Okay, we're good. Right, give this a go. A lot of wind up there, blowing it back. That's the woods. I can let the wind blow it back. Brilliant. That's the woods over there. Look at that. Amazing. Try and land her. Oh, the lights are on. There we go. Here she comes. Okay. See me on camera now. This is the point where I need to watch. I need to be careful of it not hitting me in the face because I haven't got the guards on. I land it on the path. Beautiful. Love it. Right, I think that concludes the fun and frolics today. This has been Everyday Prepper. I've had a whale of a time and I hope you have too. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching and stay prepared.